What if I told you there's a country in Europe where women massively outnumber men and they've taken over almost everything? Where women are exceptionally hardworking, so much that they run everything, from driving buses, operating heavy machinery, and cutting men's hair, to leading tech startups. Not by choice alone, but because the numbers simply leave them no other option. Where loyalty matters more than money, and where you can live comfortably on a budget that would barely cover home rent in Western Europe. Welcome to Lithuania, the Baltic nation that quietly holds one of the most surprising demographic stories in all of Europe. In this land of medieval castles, dense forests, and a coastline along the Baltic Sea, something remarkable has happened. The men left, many heading to Scandinavia for work, and the women stayed behind, rebuilding their country with quiet determination. Watch full video and please support us by subscribing to our channel. Your support truly means a lot to us. Lithuania sits on the eastern shore of the Baltic Sea, the southmost of the three Baltic nations. It covers approximately 65,300 square kilometers, roughly the size of the USA West Virginia, and shares borders with Latvia to the north, Belarus to the east and south, Poland to the southwest, and Russia's Kaliningrad region to the west. To the west lies the Baltic Sea, giving Lithuania a 90-kilometer coastline that includes the beautiful Curonian Spit, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Over one-third of the country is dense forest, making it one of Europe's greenest nations. Add more than 6,000 lakes and 2,500 rivers, and you've got a paradise for hikers, kayakers, and nature lovers. As of 2026, Lithuania's population stands at about 2.8 million people, with a population density of 45 people per square kilometer. The capital, Vilnius, is home to roughly 338,000 residents, followed by Kaunas with 264,000 and the port city of Klaipėda with 116,000. But here's where the story gets truly fascinating. Lithuania is aging, with a median age of 42.6 years, and the fertility rate sits at just 1.2 children per woman, one of the lowest in Europe. More significantly, the country has a striking gender imbalance that shapes nearly every aspect of daily life. According to official data, Lithuania has approximately 90.1 males for every 100 females, meaning women make up nearly 60% of the population. In practical terms, that translates to tens of thousands more women than men across the country. Why did this happen? After Lithuania regained independence from the Soviet Union in 1990, economic instability pushed many men to seek work abroad, particularly in Scandinavia and Western Europe. Many never returned. The result is a nation where women have quietly stepped into roles that in other countries would be dominated by men. Walk through any Lithuanian city and you'll notice something striking. Women drive buses, operate trams, and manage public transportation. They work in construction, laying roads, operating machinery, and managing major infrastructure projects. According to Lithuania's state data agency, while men still dominate the construction sector overall, women are increasingly taking on roles as engineers, project managers, and technical specialists. Ask a local why this happened and you'll hear a simple truth: someone has to do the work. With so many men gone, women simply took over, and they've done it with remarkable competence. Lithuanian women are often described as striking, tall, slender, with fair skin, light brown or blonde hair, and deep, expressive eyes. But their beauty goes far beyond physical appearance. What truly sets them apart is their character. Having grown up in a country that endured Soviet occupation, regained independence, and faced economic hardship, Lithuanian women developed resilience. They're educated. Lithuania has one of the highest rates of female university enrollment in Europe. They're multilingual, speaking Lithuanian, often Russian or Polish, and increasingly English. And they're independent, managing households, raising children, and building careers often without a partner by their side. But here's something that might surprise you. Lithuanian women generally value peace, loyalty, and affection over money or excitement. Many have been widowed or abandoned by partners who left for work abroad and never returned. What they seek most in life tends to be genuine connection and commitment, not flashy displays or financial promises. This creates an interesting dynamic for foreign visitors. Lithuanian women are often open to relationships with foreigners, particularly those who demonstrate sincerity and respect. They're not looking for someone to rescue them. They've been rescuing themselves for decades. What they want is an equal partner who values loyalty and understands that family matters more than fleeting romance. If you're thinking about dating in Lithuania, remember this: honesty goes further than charm. Reliability matters more than excitement. And if you're invited to meet her family, consider it a significant honor. A darker reality: the struggle with mental health. No portrait of Lithuania would be complete without acknowledging a difficult truth. For years, Lithuania has struggled with one of the highest suicide rates in the world. While the situation has improved significantly, rates have more than halved since peaking in 1995 at 45 deaths per 100,000. The country still faces challenges in this area. What causes this? Researchers point to several factors: the long, dark winters that bring limited sunlight, a cultural tendency to internalize problems rather than seek help, lingering economic hardship in rural areas, and the social disruption that followed the collapse of the Soviet Union. Alcohol consumption has also played a role, though rates have been declining in recent years. Today, about 20 out of every 100,000 people in Lithuania die by suicide annually, still high by global standards, but dramatically lower than the peaks of the 1990s. The government has implemented mental health programs, and awareness is growing, but this remains a national wound that Lithuania continues to heal. For visitors, the message is simple. Lithuanian society may appear reserved, but beneath the surface lies a deep well of care and resilience. If you're struggling, help is available. And if you're simply observing, remember that every local you meet carries their own story, often one of quiet strength in the face of hardship. About 80% of Lithuanians identify as Christian, with the majority belonging to the Roman Catholic Church. But here's the nuance. While many Lithuanians embrace their Catholic identity, the society as a whole isn't particularly religious in practice. Modern lifestyles, decades of Soviet-era secularization, and the demands of daily life have weakened the institutional influence of religion. Yet faith still matters in subtle ways. The Ateitis Federation, a Catholic youth movement founded in 1910, continues to operate actively across Lithuania, a rare exception in a Europe where such organizations are shrinking. Its motto, "To renew all things in Christ," reflects a deep cultural commitment to integrating faith with intellectual formation, national identity, and civic engagement. The movement requires serious commitment from members, including an oath before the entire organization. For visitors, this means you'll see churches everywhere, beautiful, historic, and often filled with worshipers on Sundays. But you'll also encounter a society that values personal privacy around faith. Lithuanians may be Catholic by tradition, but they're modern in practice. Living costs. European charm without the European price tag. If there's one thing that consistently surprises visitors, it's how affordable Lithuania is. Compared to Western Europe or even neighboring Scandinavian countries, your money stretches remarkably far here. In Vilnius, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center averages around 750 euros per month. Step outside the center and prices drop to about 545 euros. In Kaunas or Klaipėda, you'll find even better deals. Central apartments often ranging from 550 to 600 euros, with outer areas costing 385 to 550 euros. For those willing to live outside major cities, rental costs drop further. A comfortable apartment in a smaller town might run 300 to 500 euros monthly. Food and dining. Eating out is pleasantly affordable. A casual lunch at a local restaurant costs 10 to 13 euros. A dinner for two at a mid-range establishment runs 38 to 55 euros. If you're cooking at home, expect to spend 250 to 350 euros per month on groceries, less if you shop at local markets. Transportation. A monthly public transport pass in Vilnius costs about 36 euros. Single rides are just 83 euros. Taxis are reasonable. A 10 to 15-minute ride typically runs 6 to 9 euros through apps like Bolt or Uber. Utilities and internet. High-speed internet costs 17 to 33 euros monthly. Basic utilities for an apartment run about 220 euros per month. A single person living comfortably in Vilnius might budget 800 to 1,000 euros monthly, including rent. In smaller cities, that number drops to 500 to 800 euros. Considering that the average monthly salary after tax in Lithuania is around 1,430 euros, many locals live well within their means. For remote workers or retirees with income from abroad, Lithuania offers a quality of life that's genuinely hard to beat at this price point. To understand Lithuania today, you have to understand where it came from. This was once the heart of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, one of the largest and most powerful states in medieval Europe. In 1569, it united with Poland to form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, a multicultural powerhouse that lasted for over 2 centuries. Then came the partitions of the late 18th century, when Lithuania was absorbed into the Russian Empire. A brief period of independence followed World War I, but World War II brought Soviet occupation, then Nazi occupation, then Soviet occupation again. For 5 decades, Lithuania disappeared behind the Iron Curtain. When the Soviet Union began to crumble in the late 1980s, Lithuania was at the forefront of resistance. In 1989, 2 million people across the Baltic states formed a human chain stretching 600 kilometers from Vilnius to Tallinn, a peaceful protest that became known as the Baltic Way. In 1990, Lithuania became the first Soviet republic to declare independence. Today, Lithuania is a member of NATO and the European Union, with a growing economy and a confident, forward-looking population. But the scars of occupation remain, and the country's fierce independence, both political and personal, reflect a history of survival against the odds. Beyond its fascinating social dynamics, Lithuania offers genuine beauty. Vilnius's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site filled with Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture. Trakai Island Castle, located just outside the capital, looks like something from a fairy tale. The Curonian Spit offers sand dunes that stretch to the horizon, and the Hill of Crosses near Šiauliai stands as a powerful symbol of Lithuanian resistance and faith. Lithuanians celebrate their traditions with enthusiasm. The Joninės festival, held on the summer solstice, involves bonfires, singing, and searching for a mythical fern flower. Užgavėnės, the pre-Lenten celebration, features costumes, masks, and a ritual battle between winter and spring. And then there's the food. Cepelini, potato dumplings stuffed with meat or cheese, are the national dish. Shelty barshchi, a cold beet soup, turns the table bright pink and tastes surprisingly refreshing on a summer day. And the beer? Lithuania has a growing craft beer scene that rivals any in Europe. So what's your take? Lithuania is a country of contrasts, ancient and modern, traditional and progressive, resilient and welcoming. It's a place where women have built a society in the absence of men, where loyalty outweighs wealth, and where life is affordable enough to let you breathe. Would you consider living in a country where women outnumber men so significantly, where strength and independence are woven into everyday life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever visited Lithuania, or if this video has sparked your curiosity, let us know what intrigues you most. Thanks for joining me on this journey through one of Europe's most fascinating nations. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and maybe, just maybe, start looking at flight prices to Vilnius.